In the biting cold of a relentless winter night, a solitary man named Edward strolled along a frost-laden lane that led to his old, creaking house. The crisp air carried an eerie silence that seemed to whisper secrets of ancient legends and unexplained phenomena. A dense layer of ice coated every surface, transforming the world into a glistening, unforgiving expanse of frozen beauty and peril. Edward's breath formed ephemeral clouds as he trudged through the deep snow, each step echoing his cautious resolve. The night sky shimmered with countless stars, their distant light offering a fragile hope amidst the dominating chill. Amid the desolation, a strange sensation of anticipation stirred within Edward, as if destiny beckoned him toward an unforeseen mystery. A distant rumble, almost imperceptible, hinted at a presence that defied the natural order of the frozen landscape. The old house loomed in the distance, its windows dim and its walls resonating with memories of past winters and untold stories. Every crunch of snow under Edward's boots amplified the solitude of the night, emphasizing the quiet tension that gripped the air. In the heart of this frigid solitude, a peculiar sound emerged that would soon shatter the calm of the winter night. A faint, pleading whinny resonated from the shadows near an abandoned stable, drawing Edward's curious gaze. The sound was both haunting and sorrowful, as if echoing the silent cries of a lost soul trapped in eternal frost. Moving closer, Edward observed an astonishing sight that defied all reason, a majestic horse encased in a thick layer of ice. Its once vibrant coat was now hardened by the relentless freeze, each icicle adorning its body like tragic ornaments. The frozen horse's eyes, though clouded by frost, shone with an intense plea that seemed to transcend the boundaries of nature. In a surreal moment of inexplicable empathy, the creature shifted its gaze toward the warm glow of Edward's distant house. The animal's posture exuded desperation as it moved with painstaking slowness, every tremor a silent call for salvation. Edward's heart pounded with a mixture of fear and fascination as he approached the scene, compelled by the inexplicable allure of the moment. The silence of the winter night was broken only by the soft sound of shattering ice and the gentle whinny of the desperate beast. Every instinct within Edward urged him to flee from such an unnatural sight, yet his compassion anchored him to the frozen scene. The horse, its body rigid with cold, seemed to beg silently, its eyes imploring for entry into the warmth of civilization. A subtle, almost imperceptible shudder passed through the creature, as if its frozen form harbored a hidden spark of life. The enigmatic horse's presence imbued the landscape with an air of mystery, its silent plea stirring ancient legends in Edward's mind. A delicate frost sparkled around the creature, catching the moonlight and casting a spectral glow that enhanced its otherworldly aura. Despite the biting cold, the horse appeared almost luminous, a solitary figure of fragile beauty amid the stark wilderness. The desperate creature edged closer to the light of Edward's home, its movement deliberate and filled with quiet urgency. Each icy step of the horse resonated with the sorrow of countless winters and the burden of an inexplicable fate. Edward felt a deep connection to the frozen animal, as if its plight mirrored the hidden loneliness in his own soul. The stark contrast between the warmth of the distant house and the icy desolation around the creature underscored the drama unfolding. Every frozen breath from the horse seemed to carry a message, a silent invocation for a chance at redemption. The abandoned stable nearby, long forgotten by time, now served as the unlikely stage for this miraculous encounter. Edward's eyes widened as he discerned the intricate details of the frozen filaments that encased the noble beast. The surreal spectacle challenged the boundaries of reality, leaving the man both awestruck and deeply unnerved. A sense of inevitability gripped the night, as if the frozen horse had been waiting for this moment to emerge from obscurity. Every second stretched into eternity as Edward contemplated the surreal fusion of life and ice before him. In that frozen tableau, the natural world and the supernatural intertwined, creating a scene of breathtaking yet eerie beauty. The silent cry of the encased horse echoed like a lament for lost dreams and unfulfilled destinies across the winter night. Driven by a mixture of duty and mysterious compulsion, Edward stepped forward with measured determination. With each cautious step, the distance between the man and the frozen creature diminished, intensifying the palpable tension. As the first rays of dawn began to break through the icy darkness, the frozen horse's desperate plea to enter the house set the stage for an extraordinary encounter. At the break of a pale winter morning, Edward stood at the threshold of his time-worn house, contemplating the surreal sight of the frozen horse. The creature, still encased in its icy prison, moved with an unnatural grace that belied the harsh reality of its frozen state. In the quiet chill, Its eyes burned with a desperate longing that resonated deeply within Edward's empathetic heart. Without uttering a sound, the horse tilted its head toward the warm, inviting glow emanating from the open door. Edward's pulse quickened as he observed the inexplicable behavior, torn between rational fear and instinctual compassion. The stark contrast between the biting cold outside and the gentle warmth inside heightened the surreal nature of the moment. A shiver ran down his spine as the frozen animal, with trembling limbs, advanced slowly toward the doorway. Each frozen step echoed with a silent plea for sanctuary, drawing a vivid line between the realm of nature and human habitation. The animal's icy hooves scraped softly against the frost-covered pavement, a haunting melody in the still morning air. Edward, both apprehensive and fascinated, could hardly comprehend the inexplicable drive that compelled the horse to seek entry. The weight of centuries-old mysteries seemed to press upon the scene as the horse's desperate gaze locked with Edward's bewildered eyes. A moment of unspoken understanding passed between man and beast, bridging the gap between life and frozen despair. The horse's frost-laden mane shimmered under the soft light of dawn, evoking images of forgotten legends and icy miracles. With a tentative motion, the creature pressed its snout against the open door, as if begging for a chance to thaw its eternal sorrow. Edward's shock mingled with a profound curiosity that defied the chill in his bones and the confines of logic. In that heart-stopping moment, the boundaries of reality blurred, and the impossible became achingly tangible. The frozen animal's plea resonated as a silent hymn of hope, drawing Edward closer to a destiny he had never imagined. Every detail of the scene, from the crisp outline of icicles to the gentle radiance inside, painted a portrait of otherworldly wonder. The dichotomy of cold and warmth, despair and hope, converged in that doorway as the frozen horse made its determined approach. Edward's hand trembled as he reached out to gently touch the creature, seeking a connection that transcended fear and disbelief. The horse responded with a subtle quiver, its frozen form seeming to yearn for the life-sustaining warmth within. A palpable tension filled the air, as if time itself had slowed to witness this miraculous meeting of elements. In the silence of the early morning, the house's open door became a threshold between two starkly contrasting worlds. Every icicle on the creature's body reflected the fragile light of dawn, casting ethereal patterns upon the frosty ground. The surreal tableau evoked ancient magic, as if the frozen horse carried within it secrets from the heart of winter. Edward, caught between trepidation and a deep-seated need to help, felt his soul stir with a newfound resolve. The frozen animal's persistent plea for shelter resonated like a mournful ballad, urging him to break free from the bounds of normalcy. A soft breeze rustled through the barren trees, echoing the gentle sighs of the desperate creature. As Edward hesitated on the precipice of the unknown, the horse's eyes shone with an intensity that belied its frozen state. The delicate interplay of cold and warmth, silence and unspoken emotion set the stage for a moment of transformative encounter. In that surreal instant, the horse's frozen form appeared almost sentient, its gaze imploring for mercy and understanding. Edward's mind raced with questions as he struggled to reconcile logic with the fantastical unfolding before him. The chilling beauty of the creature's silhouette contrasted sharply with the inviting glow that beckoned from within. A quiet determination began to override his shock, compelling him to act in the face of the inexplicable. The ancient spirit of winter seemed to linger in the air, wrapping the scene in a mysterious aura of timeless wonder. Edward's heart, now aflame with both fear and compassion, whispered silent promises of care to the desperate horse. In that transformative moment, the boundary between the natural and the supernatural dissolved into nothingness. The frozen horse, with one final pleading glance, urged Edward to welcome it into the sanctuary of his warm home. Overwhelmed by the convergence of ice and empathy, Edward hesitated only for a heartbeat before stepping forward decisively. As the creature crossed the threshold into the refuge, Edward braced himself for the unforeseen marvels that would soon unfold. Inside the warm, dimly lit foyer of his old house, Edward stood in stunned silence as the frozen horse trod onto the polished wooden floor. The stark contrast between the biting cold outside and the gentle warmth within sent shivers of disbelief through his body. Every step the horse took shattered fragments of frozen icicles, creating a mesmerizing cascade of crystalline light. In the soft glow of lamplight, the creature's rigid form began to exhibit subtle signs of thaw, its harsh lines softening gradually. Edward's eyes widened in astonishment as the horse paused, as if absorbing the comforting heat and awakening from a long slumber. A quiet hum of magic seemed to permeate the air, lending an otherworldly quality to the unfolding spectacle. The transformation was gradual yet undeniable, as the icy armor that once encased the animal began to melt away. Each droplet of water falling from its body sparkled like a tiny star, reflecting the wonder of the moment. Overcome by a mix of fear and awe, Edward stepped forward cautiously to witness the miraculous change in vivid detail. The soft sound of dripping water merged with the low murmur of the house, creating an ethereal symphony that defied explanation. As the icicles dissolved, the horse's powerful muscles emerged beneath its thawing coat, hinting at a latent strength reborn. The creature's eyes, now clear and deep, held both a profound sadness and a grateful joy that resonated with the home's silent spirit. A subtle inner glow emanated from the beast, as if it harbored a light that defied the chill of its former prison. Edward's shock deepened into reverence, for he sensed that he was witnessing a phenomenon beyond mortal comprehension. The once frozen creature now stood as a living embodiment of renewal, transformed by the unexpected warmth of human kindness. In the delicate interplay of light and melting water, the horse appeared almost ethereal, bridging the gap between the tangible and the mystical. Every cascading droplet told a silent tale of hardship, resilience, and the miraculous power of gentle care. The sound of melting ice combined with the soft patter of water on the wooden floor to form a melody that captivated Edward's soul. A sense of calm descended upon the room as the transformation unfolded with a quiet, inexorable grace. The house itself seemed to awaken, its long dormant walls now echoing with the subtle vibrancy of new life. Edward's initial shock gave way to an overwhelming sense of responsibility, as if he were chosen to nurture this miracle. The horse's deliberate, graceful movements exuded a noble purpose that transcended its recent ordeal. Every heartbeat of the animal resonated with the promise of hope, intertwining with the steady pulse of the ancient home. In that timeless moment, the boundaries between man, beast, and the forces of nature appeared to vanish completely. The soft illumination cast delicate shadows that danced around the creature, emphasizing its noble transformation. Edward's mind swirled with questions about the origins of this marvel, yet the serene beauty of the scene rendered him momentarily speechless. The warm embrace of the house seemed to infuse the horse with a vitality as enchanting as it was unexpected. As the creature took measured steps deeper into the home, a quiet air of reverence settled over the space, binding all present in silent wonder. Every moment was imbued with a palpable magic that breathed new life into the old, weary structure. The transformation of the frozen horse was not merely physical, but a profound metamorphosis that touched the very essence of existence. In that extraordinary instant, Edward felt the stirrings of ancient legends awakening within the quiet corners of his home. The harmonious blend of human warmth and mystical thaw created an atmosphere where miracles felt both possible and inevitable. A gentle smile spread slowly across Edward's face as he marveled at the breathtaking rebirth unfolding before him. The creature's thawing form radiated a quiet strength that challenged the harshness of winter with an inner fire. Each melting icicle and glistening droplet spoke of resilience and the transformative power of empathy, renewing hope in the heart of the house. The room, filled with the soft sound of melting water, became a sanctuary where the natural and the supernatural converged seamlessly. Edward, no longer the man of mere routine, sensed that his life had been irrevocably altered by the presence of this miraculous being. The extraordinary encounter stirred something deep within him, awakening a long-dormant courage and a yearning for the unknown. In the quiet aftermath of the transformation, a serene understanding passed between Edward and the rejuvenated horse, unspoken yet profound. With the final remnants of ice vanishing, the house embraced the living symbol of renewal, marking the beginning of a journey that defied explanation. As the thaw progressed, the once frozen horse began to reveal an astonishing vitality that defied the natural laws of winter. Edward watched with wide-eyed amazement as the creature's coat turned a deep, lustrous shade, reflecting the interplay of light and newfound warmth. Every step the horse took stirred gentle ripples of magic in the air, as if its rebirth awakened ancient forces hidden within the walls. The atmosphere in the room grew charged with an electrifying energy, subtly blending the mundane with the miraculous. A delicate aroma of blooming wildflowers permeated the space, a welcome contrast to the lingering chill of the past. In a display of graceful power, the horse pawed at the wooden floor, sending shimmering particles of ice and light dancing through the air. Edward's heart thumped with exhilaration and trepidation as he sensed that a far greater mystery was unfolding before him. The creature's eyes sparkled with an enigmatic glow, hinting at secrets that lay far beyond ordinary existence. Every movement of the horse echoed a forgotten legend, as if it carried the wisdom of countless winters and untold sorrows. A soft hum resonated from the old walls, merging with the creature's gentle whinnies to form an ethereal chorus. The interplay of shadow and light cast surreal patterns across the room, making the moment feel as if it were suspended in time. Edward found himself enveloped by a profound sense of destiny, convinced that the horse's miraculous presence was a harbinger of change. Each breath he took filled him with an energy that connected him to the timeless rhythms of nature. The ancient house, with its weathered walls and creaking beams, pulsed with a vibrancy that defied its age and neglect. In that enchanted space, every detail, from flickering lamplight to rustling curtains, whispered of hidden marvels. The horse, aware of its unique role, moved with a dignity that spoke of a purpose far beyond mere survival. Its deep, soulful eyes communicated unspoken emotions, evoking a kinship between man and beast. A quiet awe gripped Edward as he realized he was witnessing the convergence of the natural world with an extraordinary fate. The room filled with an indescribable glow, as though the rejuvenated creature radiated light from within. Every icicle that had once bound the horse was replaced by a delicate aura that shimmered with inner radiance. Edward's senses heightened as each moment etched itself into his memory with vivid, almost tangible clarity. The extraordinary interplay of melting ice and emerging magic turned existence itself into a sublime ritual. In the silence that followed, the house seemed to breathe anew, every corner resonating with the promise of rebirth. The enchanting spectacle evoked ancient myths where transformation and renewal were woven into the fabric of life. As the horse moved gracefully across the room, the floor appeared to respond with gentle ripples of light and warmth. Every detail, the dancing reflections, the soft murmur of the walls, spoke of a destiny unfolding slowly before him. Edward felt an intimate connection with a miracle, his heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of the unfolding transformation. The magical energy seemed to draw him closer to mysteries hidden in the interplay of ice and flame. A reverent wonder filled the space as the horse's presence felt like a blessing bestowed upon the ancient dwelling. Each passing moment deepened the bond between the transformed creature and its human witness, binding their fates irrevocably. The surreal beauty of the scene challenged Edward's understanding of reality, inviting him to embrace endless possibilities. In that charged atmosphere, the ordinary boundaries of time and space dissolved into an endless continuum. Every movement and glance of the horse carried a message of hope and renewal for a future yet unwritten. Edward's shock yielded to a quiet acceptance of the miraculous forces that had entered his once predictable life. The radiant glow of the thawing creature illuminated the room, casting dancing shadows that murmured timeless secrets. As the magical energy reached a crescendo, the old house itself appeared to transform, embracing the warmth of the marvel. The symphony of wonder and mystical energy resonated deeply within Edward, stirring emotions long forgotten. In the silent dialogue between ancient walls and the resplendent horse, a promise of renewal was unmistakably declared. Edward stood transfixed, each heartbeat affirming he was witnessing a rare and wondrous chapter of fate. With the culmination of that mesmerizing moment, the transformed horse and the enchanted house heralded the beginning of an extraordinary journey. In the aftermath of the magical transformation, the house pulsed with an energy that defied logical explanation. Edward observed as the thawed horse moved gracefully into the central hall, its hooves softly tapping on the polished floor. Every movement was accompanied by a subtle shift in ambient light, as if the creature carried its own inner radiance. Without warning, the horse paused before an antique mirror, its eyes reflecting an intensity that left Edward momentarily speechless. The mirror's surface shimmered, distorting reality and hinting at a deeper connection between the enchanted creature and unseen forces. A mysterious ripple passed through the room as the horse's gaze seemed to summon forgotten memories from the very walls. Edward felt a chill not entirely born of winter's cold, but from the profound presence of ancient mystic power. In that suspended moment, the house appeared to awaken, its walls whispering secrets of eras long past. The horse, with dignified air, slowly circled the room, inspecting each relic and artifact with silent wisdom. Every step it took left behind a trail of subtle luminescence, a delicate reminder of the miraculous thaw. Edward's heart pounded as the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural blurred before his eyes. The antique mirror flickered with images of a bygone era, merging the horse's present form with visions of its storied past. In the interplay of light and shadow, the creature appeared both timeless and transient, a living bridge between worlds. The silence was punctuated by a gentle hum resonating from the core of the house, as if celebrating the spectacle. Edward marveled as the once lifeless structure radiated an inexplicable warmth, reawakened by the horse's presence. Every detail, the aged wood, delicate carvings, and soft ambient glow, seemed infused with newfound vitality. The horse approached an ornate grandfather clock, its icy hands now replaced by a fluid motion that defied time. As the creature neared the clock, a deep, resonant chime echoed through the hall, marking a moment of transformation. The sound reverberated off the walls, uniting the physical and mystical realms in a harmonious symphony of change. Edward's eyes widened as the clock's pendulum swung with a mesmerizing rhythm that altered the fabric of reality. A faint glow emanated from within the clock, as if time itself had become intertwined with the horse's miraculous energy. Every tick and tock blended with the soft sounds of the creature's measured movements in perfect harmony. In that surreal convergence, the house transformed into a sanctuary where time, magic, and memory coexisted effortlessly. The horse, with steady gaze, appeared to acknowledge the significance of the moment as both guardian and herald. Edward felt an indescribable stirring in his soul, realizing he had been chosen to witness a destiny beyond mortal comprehension. The room's enchanted ambience deepened as ancient artifacts and the luminous presence of the horse merged seamlessly. A soft, almost imperceptible melody emanated from the air, harmonizing with the rhythmic chime of the grandfather clock. The fusion of history and magic created an atmosphere where every object held a tale of lost times and renewed hope. Edward moved closer to the mirror, mesmerized by the haunting images dancing across its reflective surface. In the mirror's shifting depths, he glimpsed scenes of past and future intertwining in a delicate tapestry of fate. The horse's steady presence offered a silent assurance that these visions were fragments of an ancient truth. Each passing moment deepened the mystery, drawing Edward into a realm where the ordinary merged with the extraordinary. The gentle glow surrounding the creature intensified, casting a radiant halo that illuminated every corner of the hall. A sense of wonder permeated the space as the house seemed to celebrate the union of forgotten legends and living miracles. Edward's shock transformed into profound reverence as he realized his home had become a nexus of timeless power. The antique clock, now a beacon of enchanted time, chimed once more, calling him to embrace the extraordinary. Every element, the shimmering mirror, radiant horse, and ancient relics, harmonized in a symphony of transcendent beauty. In that moment of surreal clarity, the boundaries of reality softened, offering Edward a glimpse of limitless possibilities. The enchanted hall became a living narrative of rebirth and mystery, its every detail resonating with a magical destiny. As the final chime faded into silence, Edward stood in awe, forever changed by the wondrous convergence of ice, time, and spirit. In the quiet aftermath of the surreal events, the house settled into a gentle stillness that belied the night's extraordinary magic. Edward, now deeply transformed by the encounter, felt an inner warmth that transcended the cold remnants of his past solitude. The thawed horse, standing regally in the center of the hall, exuded a calm dignity that spoke of renewed life and endless possibility. Every detail of the enchanted evening remained etched in his memory as a vivid testament to the night when ice met warmth. The soft glow of lamplight mingled with the fading magic of the hour, casting long, tender shadows upon ancient walls. In reflective silence, Edward sensed that the frozen curse had been lifted, replaced by a promise of perpetual transformation. The inhospitable winter night had yielded to a new dawn of hope, where the supernatural and the mundane coexisted harmoniously. The horse's eyes, now brimming with life and quiet wisdom, conveyed gratitude and the eternal cycle of rebirth. Every heartbeat of the creature resonated with nature's pulse, echoing the timeless rhythms of change and renewal. Edward, with newfound resolve, embraced the realization that this miraculous encounter was only the beginning of a transformative journey. The gentle murmur of the house, infused with echoes of magic, filled the space with a comforting, timeless lullaby. In that sacred moment, the boundaries between past and future blurred, allowing the present to shine with infinite clarity. The enchanted relics adorning the hall bore silent witness to the profound metamorphosis of the night. Every melting icicle and shimmering droplet had given way to a vibrant tapestry of hope and tender renewal. Edward's soul, once shadowed by loneliness, now radiated with the luminous energy of newfound purpose. The convergence of ice, time, and magic had rewritten his life's narrative, setting him on an uncharted path. In the quiet embrace of his transformed home, he felt the gentle pull of destiny guiding him toward extraordinary possibilities. The thawed horse, a living symbol of nature's resilience, stood as a beacon of hope amid the house's storied past. Every element of the miraculous night harmonized into a symphony of rebirth, echoing promises of eternal renewal. The soft cadence of time, marked by the fading echoes of the enchanted clock, lulled the space into serene reverie. Edward's heart swelled with profound gratitude, as if the night had unveiled the universe's hidden magic to him. In that transformative silence, the house and its miraculous inhabitant became a sanctuary of dreams and whispered legends. The lingering warmth of the supernatural encounter kindled a gentle fire within his spirit, illuminating the path ahead. Every corner of the ancient dwelling resonated with subtle vibrations of a changed destiny, ripe with infinite promise. The ethereal beauty of the moment transcended the ordinary, weaving together memories, myth, and tender possibility. Edward, now guardian of the night's enchanted secrets, vowed to honor the miracle by nurturing the light within. The old house, with its creaking beams and storied past, seemed to breathe a soft sigh of relief as it embraced its newfound purpose. A gentle breeze wafted through an open window, carrying the delicate fragrance of thawed blossoms and distant spring. In that final hour, the convergence of frost and fire transformed both man and beast into symbols of endless rebirth. The profound encounter etched itself into time, forever altering the narrative of Edward's solitary existence. With each passing moment, the residual magic gently receded, leaving behind a serene promise of continuity. The thawed horse, now a silent companion on his uncharted journey, moved with a measured grace that belied its tumultuous past. Edward felt an unspoken kinship with a majestic creature, their souls intertwined by the shared experience of miraculous change. Every breath he took was imbued with the lingering essence of that unforgettable night, a reminder of nature's boundless wonder. Bathed in the soft glow of early dawn, the house radiated a timeless aura that celebrated the convergence of fate and free will. In the stillness of morning, the extraordinary events of the previous night echoed like a cherished memory refusing to fade. The gentle symphony of rebirth resonated in every corner, a quiet testament to the power of hope and compassion. Forever altered by the miraculous encounter, Edward embraced his destiny with a quiet determination to honor that legacy. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, the house and its enchanted inhabitants stood as eternal guardians of a timeless miracle. In the serene culmination of that wondrous evening, the frozen curse melted away, leaving behind a legacy of love, hope, and infinite transformation.